Hey guys, doing something a little bit different because I cannot get Periscope to work. I've tried like 3 times now and I keep deleting them because they're not loading. So I'm not filming this last one on Periscope. I'm sorry for those of you that watch this on Periscope normally, but I just gotta film it on my computer for now. So this is the last video in the Proverbs 31 series, and these last 7 passages are my favorite in this entire series. So I'm super excited to dig into them. I'm just going to start by reading these 7 passages first, and then we'll break them down verse by verse. I'm sorry, I kind of have a cold, so if I sound like nasally, that's why. My nose is just all stuffed up. Okay, so this is English Standard Version, by the way. So the translation will be a little different than probably what you've read in quotes and things. Alright, verse 25. Strength and dignity are her clothing. She laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teachings of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well in the way of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. Alright, you guys. So right off the bat, you can just tell from reading this. This is someone who is joyful, this is someone who is confident, and someone who people adore. But these passages, when you look at the literal Hebrew translation of some of these words, it goes even deeper than that. And that's what I love about really studying books. This is why you shouldn't just read the Bible. You need to dig in. You need to research. I just Google stuff, you guys. It's not hard to research this stuff. There's a ton of people, philosophers, people who have been studying this book for their entire lives who can break this down for you and help you understand it. So dig deep into your studies. Alright, so let's start with verse 25. Strength and dignity are her clothing. Really, this just means that she's confident. She is not afraid of things that are going to happen to her because she trusts in God's plan. She trusts in his protection. And that next line, and she laughs at the time to come. That line is often interpreted, especially on Pinterest, as someone who is joyful, looks at tomorrow and is like, oh, how delightful, oh, life is just fantastic. But that's not what it really means, because life isn't always fun and great and joyful. There's hard times, and you're going to get crap thrown your way. And the Bible mentions this. So when it says she laughs, when you look at the literal Hebrew translation of that, it actually means mocks. She's mocking the future. And what that really means is that she's not looking at it like she's not joyful towards the future. She's not excited about it. I mean, she is, but it's not like, oh, it's going to be so much fun. It's more of a mindset. It's more of a bring it on. Like, I can do this. Whatever challenges you're going to face, whatever obstacles are in the future, you can take it. You have God on your side. And whatever comes to be in the future, there's no reason to fear that. There's no reason to worry about it or stress about it, because it's not important right now. And God's got you. So that's what that really means. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She is confident in the future. That's all it means. Alright, so the next line. 26. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teachings of kindness is on her tongue. Okay, so how many of you guys get with your boyfriend or husband or fiance or whoever it is, you start talking to him and he just zones out? I love my fiance, but he does that all the time. And it's because I talk a lot. I am a chatty person. I like to chat through my problems. I like to work through things by talking. But what this is really saying is that when you open your mouth, it should matter what you're saying. Everything that comes out of your mouth has a meaning and has a purpose. And this is saying, make those words count. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Whatever comes out of her mouth, it's not gossip. It's not just junk news that no one wants to hear about. She is talking about some good things that people want to hear. People want to listen to what this woman is saying because she says wise and important things. People are drawn to her because she is wise. They want to know what she's saying. So it's just about being wise and perceptive, figuring out what's really important to talk about. If you're talking about, like the latest gossip of celebrities or something, is that really something that you should be talking about? Like, aren't there better things you can be discussing with people? And obviously there's a place for those hobbies and those fun things and little pieces of stuff that you enjoy. But it is important that you know who to talk to about that stuff. So it's just about being wise with your words. All right, 27. She looks well in the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Okay, first of all, this is just saying that she is organized. She's energetic. She's responsible. She looks after her household and she isn't lazy. Idleness, that's lazy. If you're sitting around like on your couch, if you are a stay-at-home mom and you decide to binge watch 18 episodes of Gossip Girl instead of doing some laundry while you do it, that's kind of silly. This is just saying she doesn't have time to be lazy. She doesn't need to sit on the couch for a full day watching Netflix. She has stuff to do. She has work to do. And she enjoys her work enough that is good to her. So this is really just about, you don't have to be like the most organized person in the world. You don't have to have your fridge look like a Pinterest fridge with bins all labeled. But it is important that you're not just being lazy for the sake of being lazy. You're always doing something that is good for you, for your soul, or for your family. Okay, 28. Her children rise up and they call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Okay, and then the next line, 29, is a quote of what her husband would praise of her. So it's something that her husband would say to her. And he would say, "Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all." So I'll do those two together because they kind of all go together. So she's praised and she's loved by her family. That's obvious. I mean, her kids respect her, her husband respects her. But not only that, she raised her children. Her and her husband raised her children to respect her. Have you seen those kids, in Safeway or in the grocery store where they're just screaming at their parents and they're just the worst behaved kids, and you just look at the mom and she looks like she's about to lose her mind? This Proverbs 31 woman, her kids respect her. Her kids are always looking out for her. They are looking up to her because she cares for them. She takes care of them. Now I know I don't have kids myself, but some of my friends have kids, and I know how hard this passage is. This passage is really one of the few actually about children in it. But it's really just saying that your children should be raised and know that you should be honored. You should be respected because you've shown them respect as well. So it's kind of hard to find that balance, but starting young, teaching your kids to say yes, please, no, thank you, all of those little polite things that don't seem like that big of a deal, they are a big deal, you guys. That's how you teach your kids to love and respect you, because you're teaching them basic manners, and that's all that is. And your husband also. I mean, you don't have to teach your husband how to respect you. He's a grown adult. But you should find a husband who does respect you. That's, finding someone who loves you for who you are and looks up to you and is proud of you. And then 29, it's just showing that her husband sees her as a good role model. And she goes above and beyond in her hard work, and her husband recognizes that, and he praises her for that. All right, number 30. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. All right. Sorry, it's cold. Hey, ma'am. No need to get sassy. That's right. Hey. Jeez Louise. All right. Her priorities are determined by God's will, not her own vanity. That's all this is saying. You can focus on, the latest beauty trends. You can get plastic surgery to look younger for longer. But in the end, you should only worry about what God thinks. It doesn't matter what your next door neighbor or that girl who goes to church and has nicer hair than you, it doesn't matter what they think of you. All that matters is that the Lord made you perfectly and that you are his creation. You are his daughter or his son. And that no matter what, this woman recognizes her need for God. She recognizes that God has the power over everything, over whether she's going to go to heaven or hell, when she's going to live and die. And when you hear that word fierce, it sounds bad, but it's not. You guys, when you fear someone, that can be a sign of love. And I don't mean like in a weird abusive way, but I fear my parents. Like, I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to make them angry with me. I don't want to make them sad because I love them and I care for them and I care what they think of me. And this is kind of the same way. You should fear what the Lord is thinking of you, not what other people think of you. All right, very last line, you guys, 31. Give her the fruit of her hands. There's that word hands again. And let her works be praised. I just read that totally wrong. And let her works praise her in the gates. There we go. Okay, so this is just kind of saying that she walks the walk, you guys. She doesn't just say that she's going to do stuff. She gets out there and she does stuff. And the fruit of her labor is her reward. She does well enough that she sees profits from what she works so hard on. And she doesn't need to boast. She doesn't need to gloat about what she's done because people know from her actions. People know that she's successful because of the way that she carries herself. People know that she's well respected and honorable because she acts accordingly. And she can be proud of that, you know. It says, let her works praise her in the gates. She allows people to praise her. You know, she says thank you when people are like, you know, great job. And that's good, but she's not prideful about it. And that word hands again, give her the fruit of her hands. The things that she's actually created with her own hands, the businesses that she's built, the things that she's made and then sold. Those are things that she put her own time and effort into, and she will be rewarded for that time and effort. And that's what this is all about. All right, you guys, that wraps up this series. 4 videos later, I am going to post a blog post all about this. I'm going to break this down again, so if you want to write it down, if you want to print it out, whatever it is, I want to just break it down again for you. It's going to be the kind of same thing as these videos. But I'm also going to go in depth of how these translate into business. I know a lot of you guys who watch my YouTube channel, a lot of you guys who follow me on Periscope, you guys have your own businesses. And these are great values to transfer into your business. Since I've started to try to act like this in my business has done better and better because these are great tips. Whether you're religious or not, these are just great life advice tips right here. Basically, you want to be hardworking, you want to be faithful, you want to not be prideful, and you want to know that your work will be rewarded if you work hard. That's all it is, you guys. It's simple. And this is hard to do. This is not, you have to do all of this stuff and then God will love you. This is just a goal. This is something to aim for. It starts it off with, this is a perfect woman. And we're not meant to be perfect. We are sinful. We live in a sinful world and we're going to mess up. No one is ever going to hit every single one of these every day for the rest of their life. But this is a journey. This is working every day, doing the best that you possibly can and living for God while you do it. And that's what this is about. I'm not saying that you have to find all of these values and do them all perfectly with grace, without complaining, and wake up early and run your own business and be successful. That's not what this is. This is just a guide. This is saying, this is a perfect woman. This is someone who is modeled after God, modeled after Jesus. And that's what we should be trying to do in our life. We should be trying to be more and more like Jesus. And this is a good way to start. Just read this, study this, and start here. You need to start small. Start with one of these a day. That's what I did. I just started waking up earlier. That was it. I just started doing that and reading my Bible in the morning. And that one thing that I started doing has changed my life. And I'm not exaggerating that. It has literally changed my life just to wake up early and spend time in God's Word. So pick one of these values and just strive after it. Even if it takes you 3 years to get to that one value, that's okay because you're making progress. Some days you're going to take 5 steps forward and other days you're going to take 78 steps back. And that's fine. That's how life is. But as long as you're constantly trying, you're going to see progress. Alright, you guys, that was probably the longest video of all of these. I'm so sorry. If you have any questions at all, you can ask me down in the comments below. If you have something a little more personal that you don't feel comfortable sharing, you can always email me at hello@noraconrad.com. And I think that's everything. You guys, thanks so much for sticking with me through all of these and watching all these videos. Let me know what you thought of these. I would kind of like to do more like study series like this, but I don't know which one to do next. I was thinking maybe Esther. But I don't know. Let me know. If you guys want to see some more Bible studies, if you want to see a specific passage or a specific book or a chapter or whatever, let me know. I will be more than happy to take some suggestions. Alright, you guys, have an awesome week, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.